All right, room review for 2543 on Vision of the Seas. All right, so interior room 2543, that means deck 2. It's towards the front. And let's take a look. First off, it has a nice atmosphere. It's very well lit. And it's got a couch here, which I'm not always a fan of the couch. However, because they tend to be a little bit dirty, and this one is no different. However, they did something unique here, where instead of putting a full couch there, they had it curve right there, so you can still have two people sit there, but you can get by here without bonking your knees or your shins. They also did something interesting, and I've hit that several times when I get up in the night. They did that, I think, so that when you hit your knees, it doesn't hurt as much. And this has a little more space on this side and a nightstand. As far as lights are concerned, there's a light right behind there that is a master switch for the lights above that's the same as this master switch right here. Okay, so those lights have individual switches underneath them. So if you're sleeping and you want to turn the full lights on or getting up in the morning, you can hit that switch right there and it turns on all the lights. Or if you don't want it so bright, you can just hit one or both of those right there. All right, also lighting. This right here, where's the light switch for this? Is this it right here? Okay, there's a light switch there so that if you're putting on makeup or just want more light in the room, there's that right there. Also, this is an individual switch that you can turn off and on. They're a little bit slow to turn on and you get used to that. Thermostat right here. It's an old school thermostat, but it works just fine. We're in an interior room. Interior rooms are very good for getting cool. You don't have the sun hitting that window. Also, they're very dark overnight, and if you like that, it's easy for sleeping. As far as packing is concerned and how much space you have your standard vanity here with the hangers and some, well, actually no shelves over to the left. So no shelves, and there's ladders in there, and those ladders, if you choose to, would go to these bunk beds right here. I could not imagine having 4 people in this room, although if it was a family with smaller kids and somebody was real organized and kept everybody in check, then I guess it could work out and be a budget vacation which everyone could enjoy. So hangers here, space here on the floor. This is really, in many ways, the bulk of the smaller cabins and how you store stuff. Even stuff you wouldn't typically hang up, you might just hang up anyway because there's extra space in there. Other than that, the way we do things is we put our suitcases under there, and if we really were tight on space, we could take half of our clothes. This was a 12-day cruise, so it's a lot of clothes. We could take half our clothes and leave them in there, and then halfway through the cruise, switch them out. But this is, I use this drawer here and this drawer here, and then this becomes our dirty clothes drawer, which some people can just throw it in the suitcase. You do it however you want. And then my wife Wendy, she uses these drawers over here, and this is small and you really can't use it for anything useful unless you happen to have something you want to put in there. This is the countertop. It's useful, but we end up using it for semi-storage, and then Wendy just gets ready briefly in the morning here. Little shelf here, and a safe, and a couple of extra shelves. Are these shelves over here at all, Wendy?
There are some little shelves in there.
Little shelves in there. Okay. We haven't been using those much, but they're there in case you want them. Yep, see? That works out. Oh, no fridge. There is a safe here, but there's no fridge. This is the first stateroom we've been in that does not have a fridge. And on one hand, that gives you a little bit more space. On the other, it's kind of a little bit frustrating that you don't have anything you can bring back and keep cool. We're also not TV people. If you are, there's a television right here, and you can turn that towards the bed, or you can turn that towards the couch. We just soon have that as space, but some people like the television, so it's the way that goes. With respect to the bathroom, there's pros and cons to the bathroom. It's a nice enough bathroom, similar to most. You got your garbage over here. You've got your little bin right there. What is that little tin for, you think? Like storage. Hygiene products, yeah, or stuff like that. your standard basin, a little bit of a shelf right there. We don't put a lot of things in here. And this is probably our biggest complaint that we've had in any stateroom so far, is this shower right here. In here, it is so narrow. It's kind of hard to get scale here, but this is so narrow from this side to this, that once you turn on that shower and you get a little bit of that updraft from the warm water, this billows in and it sticks to you unless you somehow are some kind of like gymnast or ninja. It just sticks to you, and it just, if you're like me, it drives me up the wall to have something kind of wet and, I don't know, sticking to me like that. So we ended up taking a shower with that open. There's a little drain right here, so it's designed for water to get out here. But that being said, if you got towels on the floor that you step on, they end up getting all soggy, and then you have to toss them in there overnight to drain a little bit. So not a big fan of this shower, but it, you know, has the standard handle that comes off. You've got the double duty, literally, unisoap right there, which I don't mind because, you know, other than the little ding that I got snorkeling by not looking where I was going, you know, I don't really have anything to worry about up here, so soap is fine with me. But if you want good shampoo, you're going to have to bring it with you. Little footrest there, which is always helpful. It's very nice to adjust. This turns it on. I'm not going to turn it because I don't want to spray me. And this is very convenient the way it goes for hot down this way and cold down that way. And you get used to it, and it's actually very easily adjustable. And some showers go from too hot to too cold very quickly. This is not like that. It's really great when it comes to adjusting temperature. There's also an outlet up here. It is, I believe it says, for shavers and things like that. It's not for a hair dryer or anything that much power of draw. Did you have any comments about it, Wendy? What do you think?
I think it was a nice little room for us. So I wish that the bathroom was bigger and had a better shower situation. But other than that, it's been a wonderful time here.
Yeah, she gets icked out by the shower touching her. So day one out of 12 days, she said, I'm showering with the soap. And I tried to avoid that and ended up just giving in 3 or 4 days later. And so I ended up showering with the curtain open and just dealing with it. Other than that, we had a great trip. And this room was part of it. We went down to Martinique and Dominica and some other places in that area and really enjoyed it. So if you happen to get a chance to go on Vision of the Seas for one of the longer cruises out of Baltimore, and you can maybe even drive there. There's a lot of people that can drive there, but a lot of people flew also. But it's kind of an East Coast cruise, meaning people from the East Coast. And the 12 days, some people complain about the 3 days down there, and then you get 5 days at ports. That's what we did. And then 3 days back. We don't mind because it gets you settled on the ship. But overall, thumbs up. We really enjoyed it. So thanks.